Hi everyone, it's Margaret here with 60 and Me. Hope you're doing great today. Thank you so much for being here. You know, it's a wonderful journey to look back and think 60 years, we've accomplished so many things, very practical goals in some ways. We've perhaps had a career that we loved, we've had a family and, you know, built a place in society. Perhaps we've had a passion about a particular cause and we've, you know, done well with that. We've made a contribution. And I think that as we get older, we look back and think, you know, all these practical things I've done were great, but I've got this something else inside of me, some urge to be creative, to be expressive, and I think this is a perfect time to explore those inner feelings that are coming back to talk with you. Now, Diane Doll wrote, one of our bloggers wrote this article on how it's time in your 60s to discover the power of your creative mind. You've done all the practical things, you looked after everybody, you maybe raised a family or, you know, just taking care of all the details of life. But now it's time to kind of, you know, just explore on the edges, just to see what comes out of that amazing set of experience that you've accumulated over the years. And I know a lot of women in our community talk to me about, you know, I wish I had done these things, you know, I wish, I mean, I read this book and it's like, that's my story. I could have told that story. I could have actually, you know, written that book, but I didn't. You know, you look at a painting and you think, that's really beautiful. I know I could probably do that, or restoring a piece of furniture or quilting or any kind of thing that you have, you know, admired or looked at from other people's creative perspective and thought, you know, I could do that. And I think it's time to start doing it. Now, I think that, you know, knowing what that passion is, knowing what that particular creative outlet is part of the journey of listening to yourself. And some things you just won't have any kind of connection to. You won't feel that you could do that, or even that you want to do that. But maybe you've wanted to play the piano. I know that's one thing for sure. I really wish that we had had the means, I guess, when I was a young girl, to actually learn a musical instrument. And you know, I look back on the times when I was, you know, 12, 15, and well, I was going through all kinds of other things with my mom being sick, but I actually, you know, never even expected or anticipated that I would have you know, an interest in music or an interest in piano or learning some, you know, some creative expression with music. But as it turned out in my life, I love music. I've, you know, I listen to all kinds of music, and I really do wish sometimes that I could sit down and play. You know, and sometimes actually, you know, do. I mean, I know there's some cool apps on your phone now. You can do all kinds of crazy things with music, but, you know, you really may be just like longing to let these artistic talents that you've got flourish. And I would love, by the way, I mean, this is a conversation. These are just videos that I do to start a conversation with you. They're published on YouTube, of course, and we link to them on Facebook. And then I'll leave a link to this article by Diane Dolly because she goes into this in more detail. But, you know, it's really kind of up to you to find your way, your passion, your, you know, the actual channel that you love. And by the way, I would remind you that if you enjoy this video and these types of conversations, please like them. That really helps me with YouTube's algorithm to share with other women. And also, if you like to subscribe to the channel, I always welcome that because I think it's a way of knowing when if you press the notification bell, you know when the videos are being released. I do this 4 times a week, 4 different videos, and also connecting with other women. So if you have discovered your creative self in your 50s and 60s and 70s, please tell us about it. Inspire us. Because in her article, Diane talks about some people that really have inspired her. She talks about Grandma Moses and now I don't know Millard Kaufman, but apparently their work, you know, really, really reflected their life, their experience. Grandma Moses I've heard of, and I think she became a painter when she was in her 70s or even 80s, but she became quite well known because she's apparently, I've never seen any of her work. Have you? But she apparently just, you know, decided she was going to be an artist. One woman that inspires me is Georgia O'Keeffe. Now, Georgia O'Keeffe was also an artist, and I like her style. I like the solids, the intensity of her nature orientation, and I just really admire her work. But she actually left, I think, moved to Arizona or somewhere in the desert, and just started painting. And when she was older, and I know that's a great inspiration. The point here, and I want to remember to mention this, is that there's this myth that our brain, and our creative mind, stops working when we get older. It's kind of downhill. Well, it's not. And there's lots of evidence now that the brain just keeps on creating and producing brain cells, and you can keep on learning new things. And that's kind of what's really powerful about this. And maybe, as Diane reminds us, it's time to become that creative child again. Just get out the bubbles and the paints and the brushes. And honestly, at this point, I mean, yes, you might become a really world famous artist or musician, but the chances are probably that you won't, and you can just do it for yourself. And that's why I think it's so fun, because as an adult, you want to be performing or doing something that's going to lead to something. But now it's like no one's judging. It's like no one really cares except for you. And so you should feel free to actually find your creativity after 60 and just enjoy it. She talks about like you're not going to become a Michelangelo or like a Robert Frost, but you can do some things. She gives a list of ideas. So you can write some music. It's funny, when I was singing songs to my grandchildren, I often found myself, like when they were nodding off to sleep, and I probably was a bit too, I always felt myself like I was, I could make up a tune and I could sing that tune with the words, just words that came into my mind. And so it's not difficult to write a piece of music. You just have to hum it and think it and sing it, and it's there. You could take a course on pottery or quilting or diamond painting, or there's one that I saw recently. It was flower pressing, just going into the forest and get a little wildflowers and leaves and press them onto cards, card making, scrapbooking, learn a musical instrument, do something for your health, like exercise or yoga, or learn new Pilates, or learn Tai Chi, learn there's several others that I can't pronounce, but you know which ones. Anything that it connects your spiritual self to your physical body, and your urges as you get older to kind of figure this out. Do the things that are going to make you feel really centered, balanced, and in control of things. So the other thing is bake a perfect cake. And ice it creatively. I was actually watching a video the other day with my grandson of how to make a gingerbread house, and just doesn't matter what it looks like. It's just get the icing, the food coloring, make swirly colors, different shapes, and just enjoy it. Make cupcakes. Maybe they're easier and more shareable. But yeah, bake a cake. Oh yes, my morning glory muffins. I left a message to myself to remind me to tell you about them. Have you ever made morning glory muffins? Someone sent me a recipe. I didn't know how to make them. I mean, I knew what was in them. I knew there was carrots and raisins and pineapple sometimes, but fruits in a muffin. And it was such a great recipe, and I really enjoyed it. And it was like I never thought I could make morning glory muffins, but I did. And you can learn other things like carpentry, learn how to build something, sculpture. A really big trend right now is upcycling and recycling. So go to the charity shops and pick up something that needs a bit of repair, or just pick up a piece of driftwood. Or one of our writers, Pearlie Ann, used to go down to the beach, and she made a big sculpture for her cat charity, local cat charity, from sea pieces, things that she found on the beach. It's really pretty. And I know that somebody else did something cool like that too. Somebody was working with old canoes. They went down to the water and found these old canoes and turned them into sofas and chairs. It was really, really cool. I think this gentleman was in Ghana somewhere, but it was like on an island, but he had raw materials, and he used them. Learn the names of hundreds of perennials and start growing them. And there's some really cool features actually in Google where you can actually put your camera up against a plant, and it will tell you exactly what that plant is. And then you can plant them. Start a herb garden, but be creative about it. Do something that's going to be able to make tea, or that you can enjoy outside the box. Write a poem or a story about your childhood. That's a good one. Do a life review. That is a creative exercise. So learn how to paint. Learn how to paint with watercolors, learn how to paint rocks. Just do whatever you feel is an expression of your creative mind. And so I really appreciate this article by Diane. Thank you for writing this. It's one of these articles that makes me just want to start doing things. Like I make these necklaces, and I do other things with cabochons. I like color, and I like making things out of color. Maybe you do too. But do you find yourself doodling or stitching or knitting or or something, and you want to turn it into something a bit more structured, explore your creative mind, this is the time. Come on, guys, this is it. I mean, this is when, if you've got something of interest in your mind, even if you don't succeed at it and you go on to the next thing, it's all good. You tried. But have fun with it. Have fun with the creative process. Share with us what you do, what kind of projects you have been enjoying. And again, please support our channel here for us. Please like this at a minimum, like this video, and also join, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. Also, I'll remind you about our Patreon group, Patreon. It's our supporters group for 60andMe. We have got some very cool stuff going on there. We've got live shows and exclusive videos, and people are making friends. People always ask me, how can I do this at 60andMe? How can I connect? The Patreon group is one way. It's a big group now, so we'll make it smaller, more manageable, more personal. Okay, everybody, well, have a fabulous day wherever you are, and we look forward to speaking with you again soon. Bye-bye for now.